So I get paid for how present I am, not how impressive I am. And in a world of content creation, algorithms, AI, all of those things, which are not bad, parts of it feels strange, but it's relieving. Um, God has dealt with me. Let me rephrase that. I've allowed myself to sit with God in a different way and a little bit longer, not to fix myself, but to hear Him clearly on what He wants me to do this season, next season, or however many seasons that He wants me to do it. And I cannot tell you how much pressure it's moved off of my chest, my shoulders, my head, and how much relief it has brought. Now, it kind of goes against everything that I've known for marketing, selling, things of that nature. And if I be honest, it feels too good to be true, but it's true. Now, here's something that I've always done content. I've always loved doing content. I've always done fitness in some capacity. I've always shied away from helping men first. My excuse used to be, well, women usually gravitate towards the message faster, so that's why I do it. Or it's always been in fitness, women listen to a man first before a man listens to a man. And I don't know if that's right, but I found out that just not trying to impress anybody, not trying to be anything, but just being through and sharing what I'm embodying, sharing what God is doing in me, sharing what I'm giving up, what I'm yielding to God, what I'm surrendering to God. That's been the thing that has drawn men to me, either through DMs, through a private conversation, and the trust has been the signal. I'm not trying to impress them. I'm not trying to give them a framework. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just being present to help them see, what is God speaking to you? Maybe you think the brook is dried up and He's saying, hey, I need you to do it a different way. Maybe you're thinking that you're the owner and He's like, you're just the manager of what I've entrusted you with. And in doing that, at first, one of my biggest fears was, how will I make money? Because parts of my coaching is making money. And I cannot tell you how He's began to reveal kind of like the anti-launch, the anti-course, the anti-big promotions and stuff like that, to just being like, I'm just holding space for men. And it's important because something that I needed and always need still is space to be held, not to problem solve, not to fix, not to even alleviate anything, but to just have an invitation to sit and hear God and see what I'm clenching onto, what I'm holding on to. Is a story that helps me realize how I would hold on to things so tight. I used to take yoga back in the day, and I became a yoga teacher back in the day. And one of my yoga teachers, when I was in the class, I would just be holding my fists so tight the whole time. I even had a time where I would just be clenching my jaw so tight. And instead of her telling me, you need to stop clenching, she just stood next to me. She just gently just opened one finger at a time. And that felt like permission. It felt like, somebody sees me without judging me. Somebody notices what's happening and they're not trying to make me do something or make me fix something. And that was transformative to me. And I see that happening with me and other men. So I say all that to say that, yes, I'm going to still talk about families. I'm going to still talk about fatherhood, probably some form of fitness. But if you see the content changing, that's why it's changing. I'm not apologizing. I'm not trying to be a guru or anything. I'm just being me and showing up in the season that I'm in and the way that God is leading me and directing me. And it's less pressure. It feels lighter. It feels good. I'm on vacation with my family right now. I wish that pool was mine because it's pretty cool. And to intentionally slow down, to hear from God, is one of the best things you can do. Now, maybe you can't do a vacation because for years we couldn't do a vacation, but if you can find 10 minutes a week or sometime to slow down, God, I just want to hear you. I don't want to do or try to conjure up anything. I just want to hear you. He'll speak. And if he speaks something that's contrary to what you've always known, that's okay. If he says, hey, I don't need you to be A, B, and C, that's okay. If he says, hey, this is where I want you, it doesn't look as sexy as that over there. It doesn't even look as lucrative as that over there. But where I guide you, I'll provide for you. And I'll also bring my presence with me, which is more valuable than any brand deal, any $1 million course. It's better than anything you could dream of. So go be with God. I'm out of here.